And maybe we're live? Are we live?
Now
Now
we're
we're
live.
live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the latest episode of the Sling'N podcast. I'm TJ.
And I'm Kent.
Wow, did we screw the pooch on that one, Kent?
Holy shit.
Well, I guess I screwed the pooch.
No, let's just be honest and tell the people the truth. Apache Solutions still wouldn't give us our goddamn podcast back.
It took some struggles.
We paid them off. We sent over the virgins. All the various pictures were burned in the fire that we had of Frank, and yeah.
Yeah, I guess we can't hold them too accountable because at least they help us fix it.
Yeah.
I'm the worst beep booper ever.
Yeah, dude, you fucking like, hey, I'm a world-class professional IT guy, but I cannot run Skype.
I never claimed that, to be fair.
I did.
Never claimed it, not once. I mean, you can claim it all you want. I guess that really speaks to your legendary status when other people are singing your praises for you, right?
I mean, yeah, this is all true. This is all true. So, man, where do we start?
We start with our producer, who has so graciously offered to help us by muting his speakers.
Oh, look.
There he is.
See, we keep trying to get rid of Apache Solutions. They keep just popping up in the background. Actually, no, we have a nice announcement to make. Frank Horvath is going to be our new. I can't even say his last name anytime I'm drinking. Frank Horvath. Oh shit, he's back. I can hear him. What am I hearing?
I'm hearing an echo, or I'm hearing background.
Clusterfuck.
Do we need to blame Joel Trey again?
This is just
Yeah, I bet he's going to keep doing this just to mess with us now.
Anyway, Frank's going to be our new Jamie, like in Joe Rogan. We're just going to occasionally say, hey, Frank, will you Google that for me? And like something will come up. So, any hooser. So let's see. I have no idea what happened on the podcast last week. Do you?
I know we started our broadcast and then it all of a sudden got, good content, but the hosts weren't as good looking.
Somebody pirated our show.
Right?
No, I'll stop being silly. My goodness, dude. Those dudes. This is great. We're just going to keep seeing a Frank pop up and say shit.
Yeah.
Man, I'm just beyond humbled. Those dudes spent the entire show talking up defensive pistol metrics, and I know Justin's watching here tonight as well. From the bottom of our hearts, everybody, we're the GMD crew is super, super, super humbled with all the nice stuff you said, and I even heard a criticism or two that I sat there and wrote down because I do that with things. So I really appreciate that. Y'all had me bawling in my damn living room. I was so humbled and so proud of what we put on. So that's really cool stuff. What have you been up to, Mr. Ramsey?
Oh, dude. So work is always a madhouse. I'm just going to quit saying it because it's kind of a default setting for me.
Right.
Rewriting service descriptions, end of year. So we actually run on a calendar year fiscal.
Yeah.
So that being said, while this is not the end of our fiscal year, this is the end of a quarter for us. So typical business type stuff, end of quarter blitzes is, being what they are. Blitzes being what they are. It just kind of keeps you busy. Been studying, writing a few things. Do you? Yes, Kent, that's a quarter.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
There just happened to be one on my desk.
I see what you did there.
I haven't used metal money for a long time, but you said quarter and I had one. So
right. But yeah, man, it's been good. It's been good. I mean, so watching, I can officially say that last week's episode, the pirated episode, was the first one that my wife has watched.
Right. Samesies.
Can I? Yeah, I'd probably say the same thing for Mrs. Green Mountain, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. She's she didn't watch it. She didn't watch it live. She went back and watched it afterwards, but she did watch it.
Oh, I had it playing on my big screen in the living room, so she really couldn't escape.
I did too, but she was child rearing.
Oh, gotcha. So yeah, man.
She reared in that moment.
As they often do.
Yes, yes, they do. And she's now texting me because she's watching live now. Yes, one more
See,
viewer.
you just got to get them to watch one episode. You get them hooked, and it's money from there, right?
That's perfect. Either that, or she heard me through the floorboards. Come to
that's
think of it, she might have heard me through the floorboards.
yeah. I'm gonna go with that instead. I think that's a more accurate statement. So, anyway, yeah, man, that was a great episode. It was really good feedback. I really appreciated hearing kind of the yeah. And folks, for those of you listening at home, right, we often have after action reviews or after course reviews with a lot of the instructors that Kent hosts, maybe classes that he has attended, even if he's not hosting them. The guys from Apache Solutions have been kind enough to join us for those shows. But at the same time, while we try to be non-biased and we try to be impartial, you cannot get away from that sentiment, or at least that image of being biased and being partial. So the guys over at Apache offered to not only just kind of take over the podcast for us for a night, but also to give you guys a no kidding, unbiased review that did a great job with having all the different students call in. I really appreciated hearing that most of the students that even called in were also professional instructors, that there's only a minor group of people in that class that were not professional instructors.
Yeah.
At least to some capacity, right?
Man, yeah, I think maybe just one person.
Right. So
yeah,
getting to hear that kind of feedback from people that also do it for a living, I think, in my opinion, holds a little bit more value. They, of course, owed Kent nothing to do that, or Kent owed them nothing for that.
Right.
So completely unbiased, and it was. We got to start a counter for how many times I say unbiased on the show, but great reviews. I know because you and I were texting back and forth, and as I was listening to the broadcast, I was like, wow, so Kent is going to hear all this amazing stuff, but he's only going to listen to the negatives. I'd be willing to bet that you probably only wrote down the bad shit that people said.
You know what? That's interesting because that's not true. What I wrote down was a bunch of positive stuff to reinforce Justin with and tell him how good of a job he did. And I wrote down take better care of myself in like big fucking, huge Kent letters.
It's a font.
Well, I actually use, so, they were talking about the iPad. I use the damn iPad for everything. Mm-hmm. So I have that little write to draw to write text, whatever you call it thing. So I can write notes and then handwriting recognition.
Yeah. Handwriting recognition, essentially. Yeah.
On the iPad. So I wrote it I really went nuts on the iPad. Better care of yourself. And the fucking thing actually noticed that I meant for it to be bigger than everything else I was writing, and it put it in huger font. I thought that was pretty cool.
Oh, that's neat. See, technology doesn't always fail us.
No.
Only when TJ and Kit are trying to go live in a different format.
Yeah, just when we're, Frank has signed himself up for another. Frank has 48 jobs. He signed himself up for another one.
No, what's going to happen is the two professional beat boopers between our respective camps are going to get together and unfuck this thing that we call open broadcast software.
Yeah, well.
So, and to be fair, okay, let me at least bring our audience. To be fair, our beloved audience up to speed. So, folks, you might have seen that Frank and the guys, Joel, Trey, and Tim, and all those, they were able to broadcast in a very, let's call it, a better way than we do typically. Yes. And I was having trouble getting one of those programs to work on my particular laptop that I used to broadcast the show. So we tested it, took some notes from Frank. They're all good friends of ours. Frank, like me, is a professional IT guy. So getting this working was a big deal for us because it gives us a better opportunity to bring more refined more refined views of the content. Yay, mediocrity! But just better graphics and stuff. And we're not so much bound by the limitations of StreamYard, which is the platform that we were using. Well, rewind about 4 or 5 days ago, knowing that we wanted to do this, we actually tested it. We got together. Kent and I were on our on Skype together and getting everything going, and worked great. Test went fine, and of course, before we go live tonight, it completely shit the bed. So that's what happened, Frank. God bless you. I know you're in the background producing for us tonight, so much appreciated, sir. I love you, buddy. Appreciate it. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is why we have to love him. All right. So on to, I guess, the topics at hand. Kent, what's going on? What should we bring to our beloved viewers and listeners tonight?
Well, let's see. We should talk about training plans for the new year.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one.
We should talk about our 100th episode coming up.
Yeah, I think that's a good one.
We should
a bit self-serving, though I might add. But hey, it's our show. We can do what we want.
Yeah, it is. So it's our show. Fuck off. Let's see. We should talk about the fact that I'm getting rid of all my guns that aren't Glocks, and how I'm standardizing, which means I've squirreled away a bunch of money to put together another Gucci Glock. So we can talk about how we can, for fun, like talk about what the Gucci Glock would be, although I already know what I'm doing because I'm me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going to have another boring Glock 34 that's the same exact goddamn Glock 34 that I have 2 more times.
Well, now I think to back that out just a little bit, I think just talking about streamlining is probably a conversation worth having, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we could probably even start there. I mean, the reality of the situation is, like, folks, Kent and I both have our respective individual YouTube channels. You might notice content on those channels has been, well, missing for many, many months, almost a year for myself. I've streamlined my collection. I do have things other than Glock. But the reality of the situation is if all hell breaks loose, we all talk about the shit hits the fan type scenario. The only thing I'm grabbing is tactical Tupperware, bro.
Yeah, no shit.
I mean, that's the way it's going. I've got a nice 1911 in the safe. I've got guns upon guns. It's fine, right? Certainly not the highest my collection, or the largest my collection's been, but I made the realization a long time ago. You need to identify exactly what your sword is going to be that you're going to take to battle, quote unquote, right? And stick with it. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's just, for me, it's one of those things where I had all these other guns that, like, oh, I want to have these so I know about them and teach with them. And I want to be able to do all this, showing people this or showing people that, or, I want to be all diversified, blah, 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 blah. At the end of the day, it's a fucking plastic pistol that's about this big by this big with a magazine in it. And you do one of these things and you press this, and it's like, why? What am I doing this for? I never shoot any of these things myself.
Well, I mean, so I think if we're gonna level set here, right? For you, it almost makes sense with the being a professional firearms instructor on the side. You are inevitably going to come across individuals that maybe haven't purchased their first gun, or maybe they're starting out with one that you might not recommend, right? So giving them the option and the diverse, to test and handle a diverse sampling of what the industry has to offer, I think is a good thing. With that being said, I'm going to answer this question that has echoed across the internet for eons, since its creation by our Lord and Savior Al Gore. What gun should I buy?
Somebody's face is Al Gore right now. I'm gonna die.
Right. What gun should I buy?
All right, buy Glock.
A Glock and an AR.
Yep.
If you're feeling frisky, get an AK, but good luck. Right.
Yeah.
It's that simple, guys. I can't keep making YouTube videos on the same shit I'm going to tell everybody, especially with the fact that Glock has come out, because the number one argument is, well, the Glock 19 is too thick or it's too fat. It doesn't work well with the way I dress, and that's fine. But you've got the 43, the 43X, the 48. I mean, problem solved, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But Kit, let me ask you, so from the professional firearms training aspect of it, what is the benefit of picking one and sticking with it?
Well, it's just for me, in my world, it's because of logistics at this point. Uh, in the world of somebody who's like new and who's like, oh, I'm trying to figure all this out. If you're trying to go from a DASA gun to an SA gun to a striker gun to one or two or three or four different striker guns, and you're splitting training time across all those things, all you're doing is diluting your reps at that point. Now, the argument could be made that like, hey man, most of these polymer striker fired guns are the same, and I just kind of made that argument. But at the same time, I swear to God, man, the draw stroke's a little different on all these guns. And that's enough for me to just say, hey, I'm diluting my training reps.
Yeah, that was kind of the sentiment that I arrived at. Right, it was a matter of, if you look back in time, and it's been echoed even in military units forever. You had the one gun that was issued to you. Even if you were issued multiple firearms, so like a sidearm and a rifle and a machine gun, you always drew, when it came time to go to the range or go to combat or whatever, you always drew that exact same gun.
Yeah.
Right? Pick your sword and stick with it. Now, if you want to go down that route, go down the financial exercise of investing a lot of money into all these different guns to maybe find the right sword for you,
Yeah.
hey, more power to you, right? But find one and stick with it.
I basically did. I went through that financial exercise. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I have had 3 Walthers, Q5 steel frame, and 2 PDPs.
Now, you did like the PDP.
Oh, I'm not saying I don't like. There's things I like about all these.
Right.
Like that's not the point. The point is, 3 Walthers, really high quality guns, shoot well, good triggers, nothing bad to say. A really nice LTT Beretta, a really nice Smith & Wesson core that I just sold today, actually. The 5-inch blah, 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 blah core gun.
Yeah, the Pro Series core, whatever.
Yeah, that thing. Jesus Christ, stop me. Where else? The FN 509. I had that thing all decked out, all set up, ready to rock and roll.
I mean, and really, that's mostly just your plastic fantastics, right? Like you've had, aside from the Q5 steel frame, right? You've had others. Like now, I do think that there are some. Like I've got guns in my collection that are heirlooms, handed down from father to son, and so on and so forth. I'll never get rid of those, obviously.
Right. I'm not
But
talking that stuff.
right,
If you look at my safe, Dad's guns are all on the one side of the safe.
right.
Like, that ain't never changing. That's not the point. I've had 1911s. I do have to do the Rangemaster Master Instructor class coming up at the end of this year, and that class is going to require me to shoot my Ruger GP100 match champion. I'm going to have to run that revolver, and it's interesting. It's one of those. Yeah, here's Landon's jumping on here like, what? It's logical to own a Smith & Wesson because I just sold him one. But no, in all seriousness, like, it just gets to the point where I need it all to take the same mag. I need it all to take the same dot screws and dot setups. Like, don't even get me. I'm going all the same dots. I'm literally talking standardized.
Mm-hmm.
So that I can just go to class with. Yeah, if you want me to bring rental guns or loaner guns, yep, absolutely. I'll bring 8, 10, 12 of the same basic gun and the same basic holster setup. I can have I can have all the stuff done, and I can drive around the country with freaking 8 or 10 or 12 Glocks and 50 mags. and be perfectly fine. And what's fucked up is I do that all anyway, and all this other stuff is just sitting here with money and time invested in it, and it never gets shot.
Right.
And like when I bought this stuff, I justified the M&P to myself. I was like, well, there's a couple departments around here that run M&P, so I might have to get one of them for work someday. On the off chance that I get a contract with the fucking Capitol Police in Harrisburg, I guess I should have an M&P. And it's like, that makes no goddamn sense.
Well, yeah, especially because the concepts and the points of instruction that you're making in your courseware are platform independent, right? They're platform agnostic, right? Doesn't matter if you've got, a Smith & Wesson, Glock, whatever, pick a brand. The concepts are the same. Like, look at Jedi's class.
Yep.
He didn't go, oh, you got a P320? Hang on. You're going to want to do this.
Oh, he does do that with the P320.
Okay, yeah, fair. But
part of his fucking like little funny safety speech about like, hey, if you drop a gun, let it hit the dirt, don't worry about it. He always like turns his head real quick and goes, unless it's a 320, in which case jump on that shit and save the rest of us.
Right. But the grip in and of itself, the concepts behind running the red dot properly, right? It's all the same. Safety considerations notwithstanding.
That's awesome. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting because I'm just gonna standardize, and then I might get like another revolver to round out that whole thing, because I do have to be proficient with revolvers. That whole deal.
Right.
But
you've got to have something to go with your tactical fishing vest and your sun cap to keep you from getting burnt when you're working out in the garden.
I do in fact shoot IDPA. Yes, I know.
Yeah.
LOL. LOL ski. I know. Get a rhino. Frank says get a rhino. Yeah, man. I don't know. My thumbs don't like that gun. Because the chamber's at the bottom of that gun, which is actually why it really, really, really shoots so flat, because the chamber's at the bottom instead of the top. There's all that mass above the chamber. The bad part is it's at the bottom, which is right where my big fat left-handed thumb ends up, because I don't shoot revolvers right. And I'll burn the shit out of myself on the escaping gases.
I mean, I think the easy solution to this is, buddy, just sell everything and you'll have enough to put a down payment on one of those cool aliens.
No, I know a dude who sucks at that.
Sucks at what? Shooting the alien?
Shooting the alien. My man has this like, oh, this poor dude. I know a guy who has bought every like you name it. Name a nice gun. Go ahead. We'll play the game.
Staccato.
Yep, got one. What else?
What the hell's that fancy 1911 company? Made one out of a meteorite or some
Nighthawk?
shit. No, not Nighthawk.
He's got a Nighthawk 1911.
I'm sure there's a Nighthawk. Cabot.
Oh, no, you don't have no Cabots. All right, so here, we won't play guessy guess. He knows shit. He has an alien, the Lithgow arms or whatever, the alien.
Lithgow. Is it the one that was created by the famous actor John Lithgow?
What is it? What's the name of the company? Lithgow?
I think it's Lago.
Sure, whatever.
Lithgow. Jesus Christ.
It sounds like a cheese. I don't fucking know. It's an alien. So he's got one of them. He's got a Staccato. He's got a Nighthawk. What's the freaking kick-ass, the other 2011 company? Not STI, but the other kick-ass. Anyway, dude's got.
Probably like an Infinity.
No.
Atlas.
Okay.
He's got. So essentially, his criteria for purchasing a firearm is if it starts with a 5.
Yeah,
it has a number of zeros at the end of it, right?
Yeah. He has a gaggle of Atli. He must have 3 or 4 Atlases. His gaggle of Atli. That should be the T-shirt for tonight. But the poor fucker shows up to matches and none of his guns work, like ever. Oh, it must be the OAL. I'm like, For fucking 11 grand, that thing should shoot the wrong caliber. What do you mean? Like, Jesus Christ.
It better come equipped with Patriot missiles with a laser guidance system.
Yeah, you better be able to put the thing on the table and go, when I beep this beeper, you shoot the stage, gun. Ready?
It should be commanded with a whistle, like the guy from what the hell's his name? I'm having a brain fart. From Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, like
he just whistles and his arrow flies around and starts killing people.
Right. But my point, my poor guy, he's got 40 grand in guns easy. And the only goddamn one of them that works is the Staccato and the Nighthawk.
Mm-hmm.
So there's 10 grand. The other $30,000 worth of these guns are just always choking on him. And no, you know who you are, and there's like 1,000% off chance you might hear this podcast someday. And I'm not talking shit. I'm looking like, oh, I'd be furious.
And of course the chat comes in on the clinch. Yondu is the guy's name.
Perfect.
Yeah.
What do you mean the chat? Justin geeks out like a motherfucker. Of course.
No, you got Justin, J Spread.
Oh, look, Jordan's. I'm behind on the chat. My bad. All you freaking, Guardians of the Galaxy geeks know what's up. Love that shit.
Just because Marvel's better than DC.
Hold on. Hold the phone. Jordan Spradley in the house. Jordan, that has got to be the best fucking wedding picture I have ever seen in my entire life.
I must have missed something.
Oh, well, his wedding was a minute ago, but he just posted like a time hop memory of his wedding, and it is hot fire. That is one of the better pictures. Yeah, look at him. He's losing it on it. Yeah, dude. That is hilarious. I'm not going to pull up his personal Facebook and put it on the screen because I'm not Frank, and I also don't want to put people's personal Facebooks up. But it's like the picture was taken with like the bride and the groom and the groomsmen and bridesmaids all running away from something. And then they photoshopped the T-Rex into the background, so it looks like they're all running away from a T-Rex that's ruining the wedding. And that was their like legit wedding. Fucking no shit. Only a gun dude would do that.
Respect.
It's my what?
Man of Murphy. I think he's trying to say it's his anniversary.
Oh yeah, it is his anniversary.
Well, happy anniversary, J Spread. We're happy. We're happy you decided to spend it with us. Clearly, you pissed her off.
That's a great point. J Spread's up here in the bullshit session. It is literally his anniversary, so no putty for J Spread. 0 putty will be had. Honey, what are you doing?
No taxes will be paid on this day.
Taxes will not be paid.
I guess like him coming to watch the podcast instead is kind of like his rebellion against taxes. He's throwing the tea in the harbor, kind of. It's okay. It's okay, J Spread. We love you. You're always welcome here, buddy. Consider this the couch for the gun industry.
That's fucking great. That really is pretty funny.
Yeah. No better place to. You got nothing better to do on your anniversary. Sleep on the couch. Come hang out with us. It's okay.
It's like
people know us here.
I don't understand.
Yeah. So all right, cool. So I think that about sums it up for I guess narrowing down the collection, right?
Yeah.
What's the word? Uniformatizing. I was gonna keep making up words until they work.
Uniformist, dude.
Streamlining. That's what I was going for. I was way off. So, but yeah. All right. So I am curious about, because we are coming up to the new year, right? Let's talk more about the topic that you brought up earlier, the training plan for the new year. Is this something that we should all be doing? Is this something that you've got planned? What's going on?
No, it's just like one of the things I kind of want to make sure everybody realizes is that the training business is not dying for lack of ammo. Things actually seem to be ramping up, at least for a lot of us. So if you're thinking about like, oh, I'll do it next year, or I'll sign up next year, or I'll get in on that class, or all this, or all that, right? You better do that shit now. I'm talking with the MSP folks about 2023 again, getting them on the books. Everybody I'm talking to is talking about 2022, 2023, and in some cases 2024. So if there's a trainer that you're looking to get in with, and you have an opportunity, if I put a class in front of you and I say freaking Chuck Pressburg, Tim Herron, Scott Jedlinski, Ashton Ray, Tim Kelly, yada, 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 I put a list of names in front of you and I say, hey, those people are coming here, Scott Cronin, blah, blah, blah. Fucking get on that shit or you're going to miss it. I'm not being a dick because I'm telling you right now, we're getting to the point where we can't get them back again until another year and a half or 2 years go by. You know, my entire.
I mean, that's a good problem to have if you're the instructor.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, but I'm telling you right now, dude, my entire life is plotted over on-call weekends for my real job, and goddamn, every other weekend is like hosting, teaching, hosting, teaching. It's my shit's already writ for 2022 and getting rid into 23 now. So all I'm saying is and I love yous, and I message guys and gals and they talk to me and, oh, I want to do this and I want to do that and I'd like this and I'd like to do that and when can we do this? Fucking now. Like, get on that shit. If you see a class, if I put a thing up and I say we're doing this, jump on it and then go, because there aren't very many open slots in these things.
So I don't know if this is a question you get a lot, but we're talking about planning that far out, right?
Yeah.
We got the holidays coming up. Money might be tight. Let's just say, Kent, you're my best friend, right? There ain't, by the way, for the rest of you, there ain't no such thing as a friends and family deal. You got to patronize your friends. You pay full price.
That's right.
But with that being said, let's say class going to cost me $500. Kent, buddy, I'm saving up for Christmas. We got the holidays right around the corner. I know your calendar's filling up. I want to get something on the calendar next year. Is there a way I can put a deposit down? Right.
Yeah.
How much of a percentage is that we're looking at? Can I float you $100 to hold me a spot? Non-refundable, refundable, with enough cancellation? What are we talking about here?
Honestly, dude, at this point, no. I can't, like, every time we do that, we get burned on it.
Oh, really?
Like, dudes leave money on the table and don't shit. It's like, what the fuck? You left. I was doing 50% deposits on shit. And I had people leave money on the table and then hit me back months later and go, hey, can I, like, where the fuck have you been for 90 days? Like,
right.
I'll tell you this. If you're a GMD alumni student, yeah, absolutely. For my stuff, for my classes, my stuff. I cannot do that for hosted classes because it just turns into a silliness. It's tough to have somebody else's money on the table and play with it. I don't mind playing with my own, but somebody else, it gets interesting because for them too, these guys, there's only so many weekends, and gals, and when one of those instructors, says, yeah, I'll come to PA and I'm down, and they're down and they push and they say, yes, we'll go. I don't want to be the one holding the bag at the end going, well, I'm sorry, we only got 2 or 3 signups, so I guess you're going to have to cancel your weekend. And then they're like, well, there goes my whole revenue stream. My whole weekend shot now.
Right.
It's not like they can schedule somewhere else in 5 minutes. Yeah, Justin's right, man. Primers are there's problems. There's people, everybody has their stuff. God damn. Like, it's just, this is just me venting on conversations I've had today from people who are like, a lot of people are like, oh, I wanted to take that class. And it's like, can't no mo because it's foo. So it's going on.
I think that's a fair statement, dude. Because, like, honestly, I want to get out and train more next year. I'm hoping that my schedule will allow it. But with it filling up,
yeah.
Pardon the pun, but you got to pull the trigger sooner or later, right?
Right. Well, I mean, business partners and best friends come to classes for free, TJ. You don't pay for classes. You show up, you don't pay.
I will pay full price.
Right.
To myself.
Yeah, really. Yeah, that's kind of dumb.
Well, no, and I think that's the I think that's the other aspect of it, right?
Any one of my hosted classes to get you. I just bought 2 dudes a seat to Jedi's class last week. I ain't gonna tell you who they was, but yeah, man, shit. For that stuff.
So speaking of training, Jay Sprad is staying in the chat. that he is about to hit 3 months in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu on the 13th. Congratulations, man.
He's about to hit. Oh, so he's been doing it for 3 months. Awesome, Jordan.
Yeah, good stuff.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Are you going to go compete against TJ in the Pro-Am World Championship Ginger Special Countdown Extravaganza?
He should. Come on, let's fight.
Let's do it. No,
let's
but
fight. Come at me, bro.
When's your thing in Vegas?
That is in November. In October, so in less than a month now, I will be at the Nashville Open for IBJJF, and then in middle of November, I'll be in Vegas.
Yeah, so I've been telling all my friends that my business partner is going to Vegas to fight. I sound like Dana White that way.
I mean, that's fine. You church it up all you want, buddy, as I'm not the one doing it, so it's okay. They're just going to show up and be like, so where's TJ? He's over there. The white belt? Yeah, that's him.
Bro, what if Rogan and Dana were at your thing and they were like, we see something in this guy? And Rogan offered Jamie to us to help with the podcast, and Dana gave you a fighting contract.
But we have Frank. I'd have to turn it down, man. I can't turn my back on friends and family. It's about family.
You know what? That is absolutely
insert Vin Diesel meme here. But no, I will say this. So
with Frank,
I am considering bringing my autograph book for Master Worlds in November.
Yeah.
Like this is it's a big tournament. Like it when I say no shit,
signed headshots of you, or a book for you to get people.
No, for me to get autographs from people. Like there's be a lot of big names there, man.
Okay.
A lot of big names. Hell, there's just at one of the local. It was I can't remember if it was the Pan American Championships or if it was the Orlando Open. It was one that just happened a couple of weeks ago, but one of my coaches ended up fighting a Gracie.
You're what?
A Gracie, like the family that brought jiu-jitsu really to not only expanded it in Brazil, of course, but also really supplanted it in U.S. soil really, really well for UFC 1, 2, and 3.
That's I thought you said something else.
Yeah, but I mean, you see, arguably jiu-jitsu royalty. I mean, I'm not really one to get starstruck over here, but I mean, you got to show some respect to some of these people where like the letters BJJ are in their DNA structure. Like
every time you say BJJ, I just hear BJ and I just get
brings you back to those lonely nights at the truck stop.
I'm gonna tell you something. Them truck stop ladies, you say whatever you want, but when you can go to IHOP in the morning and then at night get a little oven in the oven, that's good shit.
It's probably safer to do it in the oven. I'm just saying. Roasted crab. Anyway, yeah. So
I'm just trying to encourage people to freaking. Man, you only live once. Pull the parachute cord and let's get out and do this shit, because there's so many people who want to, and then there's fewer who actually do.
Yeah, it's funny. You very rarely, if ever, see it on anyone's tombstone that they wish they'd done less for themselves, right? I mean, yeah, maybe I wish I'd done less cocaine. I wish I'd slept with less hookers, whatever. But I mean, there's going to be limitations to that. But less time with family, less time doing things to better yourself and those around you. Yeah, that's just not one of those things that exists, in my opinion.
Oh, that's really funny, Landon. I forgot those boys had to stay at a truck stop the one time they came to see me because their bus broke down. They probably put Zach out on the street.
I mean, whatever. They got there, didn't they?
You got to pay for this tire. Zach, get on the corner. He's like, no, I will not.
He is a capitalist at heart.
Yeah.
It's not whoring yourself out. It's entrepreneurship.
Right. Well, no, dude. I mean, yeah, I'm way past the whoring yourself out thing. There is a very, very short list of things I've. Yeah. We worked him hard.
Frank, this is how you become a meme, my friend.
Yeah, really. There's a very short list of things I won't do for 50 grand. Let's just put it that way.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm saying, like, It is what it is. I got babies to feed, or at least one.
50 grand could get you a new identity.
Is that what? All right. This is something you would know. What is the number? How much do I need for a really no shit for a new identity that'll pass a 4473? What's it take?
Ooh.
Yeah. $20.
No, that's actually a tough one. Like to pass a 4473, I would argue that if you are going to the process in needing to full of 4473, that is the last form that you would be filling out.
No, I get it. Get it. Clearly, if you're the kind of person who gets a new identity, you're also the kind of person who doesn't fill out federal background check forms. But
I will tell you that with a little bit of practice and discipline, it is possible to practically disappear on the internet. So let's talk about just real quick, in the interest of security, right? Personal safety, we can all agree that social media has done nothing more than probably socially retard the entire nation and arguably large swaths of the world. As our presence on the internet and social media has become more prevalent, obviously people like employers, banks, whatever, they're doing their due diligence and they're looking for stuff like that. There are ways to completely erase yourself from the internet with a little bit of hard work and discipline, but arguably inexpensive. But no, I do not have connections on the black market that will help you change your name and identity. Although, if you wait a few months, they'll probably pass a bill where the government will fit the bill for you to turn your name into Catherine, and you can just get a new identity that way. Some new pronouns. There's a lot of pros to this.
Right. No, I think, TJ, no offense, but in the beep booper realm, if I was going to try to disappear, I would call Frank.
That's a fair thing to do.
Mainly because something tells me that Frank already has done this 4 or 5 times and his real name is William or some other shit.
He's that Jordanian prince that keeps asking me to launder money for him. I know it.
Something like that.
Yeah. But it's funny you mentioned that because this book is one that I just picked up, started taking a look at, Extreme Privacy.
Ooh.
Yeah, calling this a textbook would be an understatement, but there's a whole bunch of interesting information on here that you can get from Amazon. Just to give you an idea, the author of this particular book, so we'll make this the recommended reading for the night, but Extreme Privacy. It is called Extreme Privacy, What It Takes to Disappear. This one in particular is the 3rd edition. The author does not publish it in digital format. It is only available in paperback.
No shit.
Mm-hmm.
But I buy it on Amazon? Where do I buy it?
Yeah, you can buy it on Amazon.
Okay.
You can buy it on Amazon, but it is not available in digital print. There you go. See, we got our own version of Jamie, a better version of Jamie in the background here. Frank, thank you, sir.
Frank, that's awesome. Bro, this is really going well. I swear to God, he's hired. This is legit.
Okay, motion on the floor. Seconded. Yeah. Motion passes.
All in favor, aye.
Frank is our new Jamie.
Perfect. That's awesome.
I am hereby fired.
That's really fucking cool that he can just do that. That's really neat.
I could do it too if I could get the damn thing working.
Yeah, you can get on job. I can do it too.
I can.
Oh my God. All right, let's see. What other new developments do we have to talk about? Oh, GMD's going into the retail business, sort of, kind of, a little bit.
No, you know what? I think that's a great announcement. So, real quick before you spoil too much, right, folks? Kent and I have been doing a lot of work in the background. We are really excited for things that are going to be happening in the coming months. All new stuff. You guys are going to like it. I'm sure of it. Stay tuned for more. But in the interest of Green Mountain Defense retail business.
Yeah. So I'm going to start selling shit because I'm tired of people having shit that don't work for shit. So I figured I'll sell it to them. Tim and Frank and the boys down there, they've got this going on they've got like a little pro shop down there at the range. I'm not going to go quite that far but I am going to have medical and holster stuff available for students. So we're moving forward with Filster holster products and a host of cat tourniquets and hyphen chest seals and some other stuff that we're going to have on hand. So when students show up with a holster that's junk, I can just go, hey, and by the way, why don't you carry a med kit? And just, be there for that. So we up for it. We up for it for sure.
No, it's going to be good. So is any of that going to be available on the Green Mountain Defense website?
I haven't decided yet, but I think it probably will be. Because I don't see why not. Well, there's one reason why not. I don't want to have to pay the state of Pennsylvania sales and use tax, but if I sell it on the internet, I do. So we'll see. If I can manage to sell it on the internet without the IRS finding out, maybe I will. LOL, JK. No, it's more because I'm just thinking of the logistics of having to,
And for legal reasons, that was a joke.
No, it really was. It is I'm looking at my web infrastructure, trying to figure out how I can actually make that manageable. If I can figure it out, I'll do it. But
I mean, inquiring minds want what you've got, Kent. They want to buy your product. You've got them hooked. We've been singing the praises of Filster products for so long. I mean,
yeah.
Each of us have a boatload of them.
Yeah.
So
no, there's no reason not to do that stuff. Frank, I know a guy. Yes, I know Frank, but he's look at him. We can make it happen. We'll just do it. Frank's answer to everything is yes, we're doing it. Frank, how are we going to do that? I don't know, but we're doing it, and we're live. Go tell him we're doing it. It's fine. Everything's fine.
I mean, that's kind of how it works.
What was I actually going to say though? I don't know, but it would have been good. Anyway, yeah, Filster. So, Filster for sure for holsters.
I am curious about this, and this kind of harkens back to the last point, but with the training for 2022, any combatives courses coming up? Any ShivWorks or Craig Ferguson on the docket?
Craig Douglas, you mean?
Craig Douglas, yeah, that guy. Craig Ferguson's a late night show host.
You know what?
Funny, a fellow Scotsman, but not the guy we're talking about.
I'm going to book Craig Ferguson for a gun and knife fighting class, and he'll be like, I have no idea what I'm doing, lad.
Are you mocking me?
No, that's my best. That's all I got.
You can't use that word. That's our word.
That's hard R's. No hard R's at the end of I'll do it like I'm from Boston. Ginger. Instead of Anyway. The fuck, man? No, so... not Craig Douglas, but Bill Rapier will be coming back next year, and he has an integrated pistol combatives class that we'll probably be bringing back. So that'll be probably the lone combatives class that we have on the list.
Good stuff.
So
yeah, I might make my way up there for that because that's something I want to add to my docket for 2022.
You and Bill. Oh, what terrifies me is you and Bill will get in the same room and he'll be like, I know you. And I'll be like, no, God damn it. That's not.
No, sadly, Bill and I did not get to cross paths in our previous lives.
Just saying, it's a little.
We only know each other through the podcast, I swear.
Right. Sure. He'll be like down here in the basement with you on a selfie talking to a bunch of dudes in faraway lands going, see, I found him. And you'll be like, oh, I didn't do nothing. Uh-huh.
I mean, I acknowledge your statement, Kent.
Right. Appreciate it. Rodney White's confused by the chat. We are too. It's like Grand Thumb's comment section up in this motherfucker. Nobody can stop you. Oh, yeah. Well, Rodney, I mean, they're just, I don't know. We're stealing identities. Let's see. We've talked about tax evasion, identity theft, clandestine operations in faraway lands, and how to disappear on the internet, Rodney. So now you're up to speed. That's pretty much been the four jumping off points.
Yeah, this is what happens when we don't have show notes. This is legitimately an exact replication of mine and Kent's phone calls.
Right. That's what this episode is.
Just mindless rambling. That's all this is. Maybe that's why most of our viewers and listeners are. Thank you, Frank. This is probably why most of our viewers and listeners are men, because they get it.
Jordan Spradley wants to know if he visits TJ, will you teach him some north-south stuff?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's probably one of my favorite setups in jiu-jitsu. And he's talking about jiu-jitsu. You
Right.
sick, twisted bastard.
I was just gonna say. Now, what kind of position is that? Is that in the Karma Sutra, or where do I find that?
Sure. Start there. Let me know when it doesn't work out.
So TJ showed me some north-south stuff in my backyard a couple years ago.
Because I flipped you over and your head and feet went north and south, north and
Right,
south, north and south.
I saw the sky and the ground and the side and the ground. So it was north, south, north, south, north, south. It was perfect. Too many BJJ in one mouth. Good Lord. Good Lord. Oh, so I saw something interesting on the internet the other day that really sparked my 50 state carry curiosity. So for those of you that don't know, I have a quest to be able to carry my handgun in all 50 states. I'm up to 37 presently. There's a couple that are just bugaboos, but I might have found a loophole. TJ, did you know that dogs do not need concealed carry permits?
Oh God, I saw that thing too.
I'm just asking, did you know that dogs?
Yeah, yes, I did know that.
Okay.
But it is a valid. You should be a lawyer. That's all I can say on that.
So if I strap a holster on the Karma's doggy vest,
Mm-hmm.
and then I get Karma certified service animal thing, which I'm pretty close to anyway. And for those of you playing the home game, no, I'm not serious. Service animals are real. They're very important to the world. And I would never fake having a service animal to get a cheaper flight. Anyway.
But you will use it to circumvent concealed carry laws.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah, exactly.
See?
Yes. It's terrible holster, but right idea, Frank. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
For those listening on the podcast, our awesome producer Frank is showing a picture of a golden retriever with a holster and a gun.
Right. He even got the right breed of dog.
Right?
That's terrifying, actually. That kind of looked like Karma.
It's those golden retrievers, man. You can't trust them.
That's what I'm saying. So no shit. Now I'm not I don't need to get greedy, but if you strapped an IFAC and a G34 to your dog and put it on the service animal vest, you could walk up and down the boardwalk in New Jersey. Tell me why I can't.
I am not a lawyer.
No, just tell me why I can't. What's your name and badge number? I don't consent to searches.
And the dog can't speak for themselves.
Right. Right. That's what I'm saying. There's got to be a doggy version of Johnny Cochran. If the leash don't fit, you must have quit.
This is going completely off the rails, by the way.
I'm just saying, not a cartoon dog lawyer. There has to be. Anyway.
If it's not Goofy, I'm going to be sorely disappointed.
Right. All's I'm trying to say, greetings, friends. Where's Jamie? What do you mean, Jamie? Oh, yeah, Jamie.
Yeah, Jamie reference.
Yeah.
It's your own joke, buddy.
No, I know. I saw Gunset jumped in the chat, and I was like, that's Scotty, not Jamie, right? There's a Jamie at Gunset. Anyway, what's up, Scotty?
As a side note, though, to Jay Spread's question, not the first viewer / guest that has come to visit me at my gym and rolled with us at Open Mat.
Oh yeah, that's right. The Ginger Twins showed up.
One of said Ginger Twins.
Okay, yeah, don't put his name on the air, but that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's really awesome. We have leave it to TJ. So the Ginger Twins take classes with me a lot, and they're also big TJ fans. Leave it to a bunch of gingers to be friends with each other. So my students went down to freaking Tennessee and had a ginger party without me.
Yeah, it's first of all that sounds horribly graphic. Second of all, we are attracted to one another by the aura of all the souls we have collected.
Right.
It's kind of like when you're playing Call of Duty and you're near one of those loot crates and you hear the hum in the background and you know you're getting closer.
I don't know what that is.
The chat gets it.
Okay.
So you're on your own, buddy.
I don't play Call of Duty. I do play the mobile game sometimes, fucking around. Justin says the Wolf Amendment can't be compelled to self-incriminate. Yes, the Wolf Amendment. This is perfect. I'm going to get Joshua Prince on the horn, and I'm going to ask his ass if my dog can carry a gun in New Jersey.
I think that's a valid question if we could ever even get him on the podcast.
I can get him on the horn. I just got to pay him $300 an hour, but it might be worth it to have him answer that shit live on the show.
Maybe you could just offer just see if you can get a quote from him.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, just so if Karma could round out New York and New Jersey and Maryland.
What about Mass?
I'm actually, believe it or not, I'm actually all right in Mass from my days in New England. I don't know if it'll renew now that I'm not a Vermont resident anymore. We'll see what happens with that.
Gotcha.
California, Washington State. There's only a couple that I'm having trouble in, but I might, there's a big old wolfhound puppy dog with a kick-ass rifle or a grenade launcher or some shit.
That's a 1913.
It's a little. I couldn't see it, but remember, I'm blind as a motherfucker. I echolocate everything.
Bats are as blind as Kent.
You're right. Oh my god.
All right. So what else?
What else?
Aside from Justin talking about my gaydar.
Yeah, fuck Justin. Look, for Justin to talk about gaydar is the pot calling the kettle black. Let me tell you right now, dude. I was in freaking.
Oh, story time.
Oh my god, what beach was I just at? Rehoboth. I was just at Rehoboth Beach. What? It's the closest beach to our house. Like you can get to
all that's played through my head is the text messages I got that weekend.
Right. Well, they no shit. They had a Rehoboth Beach Bears weekend. Mm-hmm. Now, for those playing the home game, my wife and I refer to each other as Bear. It's our like nice little pet name for each other. We call each other Bears. And Sophie was like, "No, it's a Beach Bears weekend." And I was like, "I don't think that's what they mean, honey. Like, I don't think they knew we were coming." She's like, "No, but seriously." I immediately texted Justin and I was like, "Bro, why are you not here? We would be killing it right now. We'd be the best couple on this whole fucking beach, like by a long shot."
Yeah, I'm
like picking little pieces of shrimp cocktail out of my beard and going, "Oh, I can't take you anywhere." Like the whole. Oh my god, yeah, dude. But no.
Why we're not number one in the podcast charts? It's beyond me.
So hold on. So seriously, I want you to think about this. So at the beach, I was wearing my Enigma and like beach shorts and a t-shirt, so no pockets. So I had my Orvis like little sling bag with me that I kept on me.
So you had a purse.
Orvis sling bag. It's for fly fishermen. Fuck right off. Anyway, I noticed that all the slightly overweight bearded men with flip-flops on that kept looking at me all had almost the exact same bag. I could have, like, you know how we...
At that point, you call it what you want, bro. That's a purse.
I'm going to tell you right now, dude. You know how we all take class photos? Like, at every one of these gun classes and training events and shit? Yeah. I could have got in any one of their class photos and they'd have been like, "Who's that?" Not one time would they have been like, "That guy looks out of place." Not once. It's not good. It's not good at all.
The Gangstalicious man bag, Rodney says.
Yeah. All it is a sling bag that you're meant to put a couple flies in up here on your chest. So that I just realized I look like an otter eating shit out of the fucking river. Anyway.
Just doing cute things with your hands, like that's right. Because that's what otters do. Yeah.
Right. But this way you can get to your flies and you can like hook your fly rod right here and just fix your fly on the fly.
Yes, wearing a man purse is a really good way to get flies that close to your chest.
God, fly fishing flies on hook. Anyway.
You call it whatever helps you sleep at night, buddy. I'm not judging you. I still love you. It's okay.
We're done. Yeah, Landon's exactly right. I was flashing the bat signal and I didn't know it. But no shit. The first night we got into town, you know, the missus was tired and little man was done for. So they're like, "We're going to bed." And I was like, "Oh, I'm going to go out for a drink." And I walked into this place and it was like,
was it the Blue Oyster Club?
No, what was it called?
Police Academy reference. Come on.
Christ almighty, this doesn't help me.
Chat, please tell me you get the Blue Oyster Club reference.
Hold on. The bar was called the Green Turtle.
That's not any better.
I know.
So I think we can. I mean, just taking the few pieces of intelligence we have here, I think it's fair to say that most gay bars are going to have a color and an aquatic, species of life in the name. Like, oh my God, Red Lobster.
I do like them Cheddar Bay biscuits.
I mean, it's the only reason you go to Red Lobster.
But dude, in all seriousness, like, oh my God, like, this
found footage of Kent in his weekend at the beach.
But no, in all seriousness, it's one of those things like you don't realize. And the whole time, all I was trying to do was like be super clandestine about the fact that I had an Enigma and med and shit, and I was like all super proud of myself for having all that stuff, and still looking like I fit in the beach. And meanwhile, I turned into exactly like I did a great job of Gray Man.
I'm gonna leave it alone. Oh, it's too easy. It's too easy. It's too easy. Oh my God. Yeah, Gray Man. Okay. Sure, there's not one too many R's in that title there, buddy.
I really keep walking right into it. I
I think it's the hardest I've laughed on this podcast.
I did though. I blended right the fuck.
Okay, you're not helping. Stop digging, my friend. Stop. Just let it go.
Whatever.
Wow.
Oh, Frank.
Oh God.
God
help us.
Anyway, the Enigma worked fantastically at the beach. I had a G48 on. It was all good. Fucking.
I love you, buddy. I swear to God. This is why we're best friends.
Yeah. He's.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking Roddy. Walked right into it. No.
And no, Landon, we're not doing phrasing. We just let it happen because when you do the phrasing thing, you're warning people.
Yeah, right. Phrasing. Boom, phrasing.
We are, however, doing awkward stares.
Oh my God.
Like, you don't realize what you just said, do you? Okay.
See, the problem here is we need to take a vote. Actually, right now, I want the chat and everybody else to take a vote with me. If you hear this on podcast later, I need you to send emails to slingandleadpodcast@gmail.com and vote. Because if we get enough votes, this will happen. I can't make fun of TJ without his wife. Like, when her and I get together, it is a riot. So put them out for votes. Who wants to see TJ's wife on the podcast? I really need, I need some votes for that. Because that would be the landmark show of all shows. Like, if we did a wife show where Sophie was on and she was on, so, I mean, Sophie's name is on our business. My wife's name's Sophie. Don't fuck with her. Like, you idiots on the internet, you'll really regret your life choices. But yeah, dude, I'm just saying, like, if we got the ladies on the show, holy smokes. Like,
I'm afraid.
I know. It would literally just be the two of them just 100% just cracking on us. Like, you know how Apache pirated us? If Apache pirated us and just put the two of them on and not us, like, it would just be a show. Be one for the ages. Anyway.
All that's playing through my mind is the amount of therapy that I would need.
Yeah. Yeah. I could just see Sophie, like, one beer in, being like slamming it down on the table and being like, "You guys will not believe how little his dick is," and be like, "Oh my God!" Like,
I could see that happening.
Like, yeah.
Okay, and this went off the rails.
Yeah, I could see it going.
We would be begging for Apache to pirate the signal, just terminate.
Yeah, dude.
And they wouldn't. And they wouldn't.
I'd be calling up Frank, being like, "Frank, please," and be like, "No." No, this is happening.
So Kent, in chapter 3, and extreme privacy and how to disappear, is
yeah.
Yep, Frank, that about sums it up.
The truth is for tonight, there were no rails. There was no plan for this. This was just going to be everybody coming out and having fun and being silly. So, as we've accomplished our goal, that's for goddamn sure. What else? What do you got? I feel like I've lorded over the show with a bunch of silliness and random stuff. You got anything for serious, for realsies?
Oh, for serious.
No, do you have anything for serious? Like, do you have anything? I don't mean it has to be serious.
Oh.
I mean, it's your turn.
Oh, it's my turn. Yeah, awkwardness.
My bad.
No, we're good. No, man, I'm pretty boring. Like, my claim to fame is this show.
No, you're not. Ooh.
Let that sink in. But I will take questions, and speaking of which, chat questions, by all means, feel free. We've got, we're about an hour into it, so we got another 30 minutes. So, Kent, I'll tell you what, I have a hard time talking about myself, but feel free to ask questions. Yeah, if you can kind of coax me into a topic.
Sure. I'll walk you into something.
You know, use some of those skills you picked up at your Bears weekend and fluff me up a little.
Oh, my God. What's the funny shit one of your kids did in the last month?
Ooh.
Your kids do some funny shit.
Yeah. In the last month?
I don't know. What just came to your mind? Like,
I mean, I will say this, so it's not a big deal, but this is one of the cool things about parenting. That so in my household, my wife and I have taken on very much, at least when it comes to the raising our kids, we've taken on very, very much traditional roles with regard to how we raise the kids. Call it good cop, bad cop if you want, but typically when it comes to rendering discipline, or making sure that chores get done, whatever have you, generally falls on me. So my kids' interaction with me is generally that of, the very stern and rigid father, which perfectly fine. They know I love them and I support them, and I tell them I'm proud of them frequently, and I try to support them in a very traditional masculine role and position in the family. With that being said, I share a lot of responsibilities with my wife when it comes to making sure they get baths and eating their dinner and all this, that, and the other. So we typically trade off on who is going to give our youngest her bath. And she started taking showers now. Well, the fun thing is that she hasn't quite realized the importance of drying yourself off completely before you try to put on your pajamas.
Okay.
Folks, it's the little things in parenting that make it worth it. Watching her fight with these pajamas that she had when her upper torso was still wet. It's like watching a cat fight its way out of a greased burlap sack.
See, for me, the thing that I'm telling you, the thing that always gets me with TJ stories is it's not like the story itself. It's like, haha, pajamas, nobody gives a fuck. But then he turns around with, it's like watching a cat try to fight its way out of a greased burlap sack. I'm not Southern. And you're like, golly, fuck me. You and Landon with your fucking, hooter and a drunk owl and your southbound end of a northbound cow. And
yeah, it's the way it goes. But no, it's those little things, right? But it's funny as menial as some of those things are. Like, that's something that you will remember forever. So for those of you that maybe are not parents yet, I'm going to warn you right now. It's going to be a lot of times that suck. A lot. But those little gems, those little rewards, those little experiences that you get to witness with your kids make it amazing. Although there's going to come that time when, well, I would say when I walk her down the aisle, but she's not getting married till after I'm dead. So after they wheel my corpse down the aisle next to her, what's going to be playing in the back of my mind is her trying to put this pajama thing on, just fine.
Oh my God.
That's why fathers cry, because it's not out of saying bye to their daughter. It's that young man doesn't know what the hell he's about to get into.
Oh, that is absolutely true.
Yeah, so it's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Mine's been going in the potty.
Yay!
Yeah, kids.
Yeah.
Not even 2. He turns 2 in a little while here, a little less than a month. Freaking, we went down to see the Apache folks, and homeboy's shitting in the toilet because he hung out with their kids, and they're all smarter than everybody else's kids because Miss T's amazing. So I was pooping in the toilet.
Yeah.
Sam.
Peer pressure is a great way to teach kids how to get up with that. Like honestly, there's a lot of kids that even today, they won't necessarily they'll start school not necessarily potty trained all the way, but I promise you within that first few weeks, first month maybe of kindergarten or even first grade. I'm not here to make fun of kids that are slower to develop or anything like that. You put them around those other kids, everybody else is doing big boy and big girl stuff. Watch how quick they pick that up.
That. I like that. I can't even imagine kindergarten or first grade. Holy smokes.
Oh, no, it happens, dude. It happens a lot. It kind of is what it is. You can't blame the kid for it. I mean, what do they know, right? They're 4, 5, 6 years old. That is why I personally am a big proponent of at least daycare, even if it's part-time, because it starts exposing them not just to social norms and the mores of the social fabric of society, but it exposes them to, for lack of a better word, that peer pressure to get them to start acting in a way that is, on par with their peers. This kind of is what it is. Also, just a great job for building herd immunity.
Herd immunity. I like it. So Sam DeSimone, Evolution Training Solutions, is in the house. Sam needs to be caught up. So real quick, Sam, last weekend, the guys from Apache Solutions pirated our podcast and took it over so that they could review my class without me there. We were trying to do a fucking show. They just stole the show. Literally, Frank hacked us and stole our show. He still hacks us to this very minute.
As a matter of fact, he's still here. Frank, say hello.
He's still here. See, there's Frank stealing shit from us still. So after long negotiations and 10 days worth of argumentative fighting with the Apaches, I don't know if you guys have ever tried to fight Apache Indians. The fuckers won't line up in a goddamn row so you can shoot at them from afar. They hide behind rocks and trees and bushes and shit.
Yeah, ask Custer.
Yeah, it's been rough. We finally got allowed to come back on our own podcast. So we're just doing a feel it out episode tonight just to make sure the goddamn thing still works because they stole it from us. We called that We Survived the Onslaught, and we have been total bullshit sessioning up in this motherfucker. So now you're caught up. Sam and I will be on the range together in 8, 9, 10 days for Tim Herron's instructor development class. So that's going to be fucking cool. There's still a few seats in that class, believe it or not. So somebody fucking buy them, please. But we doing it. Timmy coming. Gonna be fun. Sam's bringing cigars, he says in the chat. Fuck yeah. MG's up in the house. How's the world of MG, I wonder. I see his posts about his daughter's dog who won't let him get in the room. That's all I know about his life right now. His daughter's big old angry wolf dog won't let him in the room.
Yeah. Sam is asking if isn't there a computer guy here to know how to make sure that stuff works. Yes, his name is Frank.
Yeah.
I have resigned myself as a computer guy.
No, Sam, the problem is TJ and Frank are out beep booping each other. They're re-hacking each other.
No, we're not re-hacking each other.
Yes, you are. You're re-hacking each other. Come on, it's funnier that way.
It's called counter-offensive operations, Kent. It's a very technical term.
I'm so sorry. Anyway, they're fighting over the podcast.
We've got to make it sound cooler than what it is.
Right.
No, so fun fact about that. It's actually kind of a... I won't say it. It's a sore point or a sensitive point, but IT folks, I say that, and yes, TJ is failing. Yes, I am. Frank.
This is fucking great.
Don't encourage him. No, IT people are not experts in all things beep boop.
Bullshit, you're not.
We're just really good at Googling stuff.
Then Google how to get Frank off our fucking podcast.
I mean, I could hit and I can reset the stream key.
Right, you can end. All you can do is end the show. The minute you
I can reset the stream key.
Right.
I've got some override authority here. Amen to Google. See, Frank agrees with me.
It's like that It's like what the fuck? Jurassic Park. The fat guy Newman.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I was gonna say too, if you want to debug 200 million lines of code, be my guest. But yeah, it's gonna take some time. The system's gonna have to reboot. Take 20, 30 minutes.
You didn't say the magic word.
That's exactly. That's you know what? That's why it didn't work tonight when we wanted it to, because we didn't say the magic word.
The password is dinosaur.
Wouldn't that have been some shit? Like think about it. That part in the story where the girl's like, it's a Unix system. I know this, right? If she would have been like, she just went to like Etsy password, which is where they keep passwords in Unix systems we're used to anyway. And she found the root password, like the admin password was password.
Yes.
Frank gets it. Frank knows exactly what I'm talking about.
See, Sam knows some shit. He's using DuckDuckGoose to do his porn search.
DuckDuckGo? Yeah.
I thought it was DuckDuckGoose.
I mean, there is that too.
Uses Bravo. See, I don't know what Bravo. I don't know what any of this stuff.
Brave browser. Yeah. So okay, we can take a quick turn on this because we have been meaning to do an episode on cybersecurity, right?
Yeah. I think you and Frank should do one, honestly.
That would be cool. I think we could make that happen. Frank, you down, buddy?
Yeah.
We'll make it happen. Cool. So we've got the thumbs up from the IT nerds. So, what Sam is talking about are alternative browsers, so web browsers. So, guys, you open up your phone, you've got Safari, you've got, Microsoft Edge, you've got Firefox and Google Chrome. Firefox is probably better than some of the others, but things like Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, all the popular web browsers that you use on a daily basis are tracking you. Ever go to those websites that say, please accept these cookies? Or permissions to track your cookies and all that other stuff? Yeah, that means they're stealing your telemetry data. They know exactly what you're doing, where you're visiting, which is why you can't talk about Chevy trucks or toothpaste or whatever. Your phone hearing it and then serving that information up to you. Not just because your phone's listening to you all the time, though that is the case, but also it's tracking your browser history. That's how Facebook, Instagram, MySpace, all that stuff, that is how they curate targeted marketing to you whenever you're scrolling through that shit. So if you visit, a website about, I don't know, the world's greatest toothpick collection, you'll start getting ads about crafts and woodworking and all sorts of crazy shit, right? There are alternative browsers that you can use. One of them, actually two of them that Sam mentioned here, Brave browser or DuckDuckGo. As a matter of fact, I can try to show you. So I actually have DuckDuckGo on my phone. It's a very simple, hopefully it'll stay up long enough. Yep. So DuckDuckGo, you can download it as an app on your phone. It gives you an opportunity to burn all that cached data, all that telemetry data. There's no tracking or very limited tracking. It's a much more secure way to browse the internet.
You can do the same thing in Chrome and Firefox and Safari, though. You can go delete all your caches and browsers.
You can, but it doesn't necessarily always delete it. Thank you, Frank.
Okay.
But yeah, DuckDuckGo's great. I like it a lot. They're always improving those features. Of course, I would be remiss about talking about those things if I also didn't talk about using a VPN, so a personal virtual private network. It actually does encrypt the data. It's much more secure. Nothing is 100% bulletproof, right? So the number one thing is, if you really want to be secure on the internet, don't use the internet.
Yeah.
Right? But the challenge with that is you cannot be a functional member of society in this modern era without using some form of technology. So it's the best thing that you can do. Actually, there are chapters in this book about reducing your online footprint in certain ones. So Frank, you're bringing up ExpressVPN. I personally use private internet access. This is absolutely a plug for them, but I am not sponsored by private internet access at all. Here's why I like them. Now, if you see other YouTube videos, you'll see like NordVPN or the one that Frank brought up. What I like about private internet access is that they don't log anything. There are some VPNs, I don't know which ones, and this has kind of fallen out of habit, but VPNs are another server, right? It's another computer system sitting in a rack somewhere that you are pivoting through to go visit Chevy.com, pick a website, right? When you visit that with your VPN turned on, it completely encrypts that data, right? So instead of you and your phone or your computer or whatever going to Chevy.com, it is getting routed through that VPN and is being encrypted accordingly. Here's where it gets interesting with private internet access. They had a server in Russia.
Oh, that sounds good.
The Russian government said, hey, private internet access, we want you to turn over all of your logs on your server. Private internet access gave them the metaphysical finger and went and had one of their employees tear down the server before the Russian government could come confiscate it.
Meanwhile, that dude's in a fucking gulag somewhere.
Nah. No, I actually know people that work there or work for private internet access now. They did not at the time that this happened, but these are cybersecurity professionals and mentors of mine that I trust that are far more paranoid than I am, that swear by using private internet access. And not only does PIA not log anything to begin with, they're even willing to risk pissing off Russia to say, fuck you, you're not getting our technology, and completely ripping the server out of the tower.
Meanwhile, TikTok gives all the pictures of your titties to the Chinese government.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what happens. Or not TikTok, Snapchat.
Yeah, all of them, whatever. Doesn't matter.
Wherever the kids keep their titties. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's terrifying.
Yeah, just remember, we have to think about ways to strap a Glock to your golden retriever.
Right.
Meanwhile, child pornography and human trafficking runs amok.
Yeah, no shit.
Figure that one out.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good. So, being that Sam's here, we have law enforcement in the house. There's no concealed carry laws for golden retrievers, which means I should be able to strap a Glock to my pup and take my pup for a walk in, New Jersey. I mean, I don't see any possible problems with that. Sam hasn't responded yet, which means he says I can do it, which means I could tell the state police in New Jersey, hey, Sam said I could. So that's what just happened here. That's perfect.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah. I mean, cop said it's okay. It's okay.
Hey, it's fine. My buddy on the internet who also owns a training company is a cop, and he says it's okay.
Yeah, so Frank mentions using private VPNs. Absolutely, that's probably the optimal configuration for that, but not necessarily for those that aren't willing to commit the work effort that it takes to manage them.
Interesting. So what you're saying is I shouldn't download every app and click I accept the terms of service agreement.
I mean, you're more than willing to. You're more than welcome to read that shit.
Nah, I don't read any of it. You ever seen the Family Guy episode where Peter clicks accept, and the dude walks in and punches him in the face, and he's like, "It was in the agreement. You should have read it."
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's the way it works sometimes.
You know what? And Frank's right. Like, nobody reads any of that shit.
They make it intentionally that long so you won't.
Right. Nobody's gonna like. It probably says in there like we own your kids or some shit. Like, who fucking knows what's in there? I have no idea what's in any of them things.
Oh yeah. I mean, they do offer to email it to us, but only after you've agreed to it.
Yeah.
Kind of like you've got to pass the bill to find out what's in it.
Yeah, that is pretty fucked up.
Well, yeah, no, I think let's put that on the docket, man. Let's do a topic on cybersecurity. I think that's really good because I think it's important. And for those of you that might be listening, invite your kids to that episode. Because I mean, for me as an adult, and also given my previous lines of work, I can tell you that probably every detail of my life has already been compromised by Iran, China, and Russia. Or was it Iran, China, and Korea? Doesn't really matter. If one has it, they all have it. And I know this because the federal government told me they have it.
Oh, man.
I mean, they were nice enough to write me a letter. But no, I think probably one of my biggest things with it is, and this has always been kind of a passion of mine, is helping kids stay safe on the internet.
Fair enough.
You know, I mean, adults generally we can handle ourselves, not overly worried about it. Identity theft is a big thing, but believe it or not, a rising trend is identity theft for children.
Hmm.
So I'll give you guys a tidbit. If you have not done so yet, I don't care how old your kids are, a year old, a month old, 18 years old, whatever, run a credit report.
Hmm.
Run a credit report on your kids with their social security number.
Hmm.
There is a big effort behind it. Like that's a big thing in the identity theft ring.
So you're saying little man could already have like a truck or a house payment in his name somewhere I don't know about?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, he absolutely could. As a matter of fact, um, one of my this was a long time ago, back in the 90s, back when phone lines were like hardwire phone lines and phone bills were a big thing. Um, my stepmother opened up bills and lines of credit in her own children's name,
Huh.
who were not old enough to commit to those contracts.
Just because she had poor credit or something?
Oh yeah, she had horrible credit.
Right.
Um, but I mean, that might not seem like a big deal, but this is back in the day of like hardwire landlines. So there was no, it's free after 9 p.m. type shit like you had with the old school like Nokia phones, right? Long distance charges, right? All that stuff, and that kid's on the hook. Like whoever is attached to that social is on the hook for that. That goes on their credit report.
What a terrible fucking system we have. It's like being able to go into a hotel lobby, drink a bunch of drinks, and just go, oh yeah, put it on 312 and leave.
Yeah, I mean it's essentially the same thing.
That's pretty fucked up. Not that I've ever done that, but my buddy was staying in 312, so it was a little funny hearing
Well,
that.
well, well. Now we'll see. Now you have to have a last name that goes with it.
Right, I knew his last name.
Now the question being is because I've done that a couple of times. As I'm traveling around. Now I haven't put the bill
Yeah.
on other people's tab, but an observation I have made is that when I say yeah, just bill it to the room, and they say okay, what's the room number? I give them the room number, and they ask me what the last name is, and I give them my last name. They then just write it down.
They
They
beat.
don't necessarily jump on the registry and confirm that before like they take a note and they're like all right, I'll do it later.
Yeah.
I could be out the door and back at the airport the time that they figure out that the person in room 312 is in fact not named Smith.
Right.
So pay attention to that shit.
Oh damn, Ronnie, that's had a $600 outstanding balance of Sprint before I was 6. That's fucked.
Yeah. I think that's my biggest issue with the internet as a whole. Like we
Hold on,
could
sorry, let's plug this shit, Sam. I'm sorry. What's Sam bringing up? Took a darknet training with Andrew Lumen. Do you know anything about any of that?
Yep. I know exactly who that is.
Cool.
Yeah, so darknet monitoring is something that I do in my current company. Now, granted, we use a different service. We actually use a curated service because, given the nature of our clientele, the service and the indexer that we use that allows us to search the dark web intentionally leaves out pictures.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So if I'm looking for a stolen social security number, I don't need to pilfer through 8 million gigabytes of contraband to find it. Right.
Right.
I also don't want my team to be associated. Like I don't want them seeing that shit either.
That makes sense.
Right. So we use a intermediary service that indexes the databases, all that stuff. It allows my team to search for it in a safe manner. That's not going to scar them for life. Let's save this for the cyber podcast. No, yep. We could go on for days with this, bro.
I like it though.
But yeah, we can certainly revisit this stuff on the cyber podcast.
So, but who is Andrew Lumen? Now I want to know.
So the Tor project, just as a quick aside here. So Tor is short for the Onion router. The Onion router was one of the original open browsing encrypted services. It was actually invented by the Department of the Navy.
Okay.
Yeah, the Onion Router project. One of the key things, like if you were going to surf the dark web, like you wanted to go find illegal guns and drugs for sale, like Silk Road, all that shit. There's plenty of documentaries out there about it, but go check out the Onion Router, and it arguably it's safe to use. But in order to get to some of those darker recesses of the internet, known as the dark net or the deep web, you have to go through the Onion Router.
So, I guess the question, I have no intention of buying any illegal guns, mainly because there are no such things. All guns are legal. Fuck right off. My curiosity is like, I want to go fuck around and see what's out there.
No, you don't.
Well, no. I know you're gonna say that. That's my point. It's like, I'm like Mr. Spock in Star Trek or something. I'm like, my curiosity is piqued.
No. Let me explain why this is dangerous.
Okay.
Let me explain why this is dangerous. It doesn't matter if you are completely benign, if you are call it, Captain America, King of the Vigilantes, where you are out for truth, justice, in the American way. If a shred of that contraband ends up on your system, you are thereby guilty of transmitting, harboring, and possessing CP.
And what is CP?
Child pornography.
Oh. That's no fun.
I mean, think about it, dude. It's to say it. So there might even, and I'm not going to argue case law here on this podcast. It's not what we're doing, and by all means, I am not a lawyer. However, it's one thing if kids are kids. They do dumb shit. That's why my kids won't have social media. But there are laws explicitly on the books now for kids sending each other pictures of themselves, right? Even if it's called flirting for the 21st century, whatever you want to call it, right? Completely harmless with respect to no criminal intent was meant, right? But little Janie wants to send pictures of her private areas, or little Johnny wants to send Janie pictures of his private areas, and vice versa. Now there are laws on the books where that act, even between two teenagers, is considered transmitting and distributing child pornography. That part you could probably have a field day as a defense attorney. This is just really fucked up, but justifying that behavior as not being criminally intentional. It's another thing when you say, oh yeah, I was perusing the Onion Router or Tor and going through the darknet, and I stumbled across this website. Now all of a sudden there's a gig of this stuff on my computer. Good luck defending that one.
Right. So how do you filter that shit out and just look at the piles of...
Just set up a VPN and stay the fuck away from it.
Yeah. So the answer, I want to go explore outer space, but I don't want to get caught with the Klingons. It's really weird.
Yeah. The only downside is as soon as you exit the atmosphere, there is a warbird sitting right there.
Yeah, right. Well, I guess I'll set up. Well, as evidenced by the fact that like my Beep Booper friends have like logged into my computer and fucked with me. Like I don't have shit. Like, I don't know.
No, I get it. So just in short,
I ain't got shit.
Use a safe browser. DuckDuckGo, Brave browser is another option. I like DuckDuckGo personally. Set up a VPN. Go on with your life. Minimize your use of the internet to whatever it is you need to survive on.
Do I need a VPN for my phone? Is that a thing?
You can, yeah. As a matter of fact, private internet access, this is another reason I like it. There is, in fact, a phone app that has the exact same functionality. Right? So, right there.
So if I leave that app running in the background, all my social media and all that's private then? Like the
connection to it is. Anything that you leave on that end is not necessarily going to be encrypted. You're going to be at the mercy of whatever the endpoint encryption is.
Interesting. Well, there we go. New episode on the docket. The Sling'N Gigs podcast with TJ and Frank. We're going to talk about megabits and
yeah, but see, you got me all fired up on cybersecurity now. I think Frank, next week, clear your calendar.
Yeah, dude, let's do that shit. You guys should do it. Anyway, I don't know. We see you talk about next week, but fucking Frank might not let us have our show back. We should. Well, I guess now we got to ask Frank what the fuck our next show is.
Yeah.
Like, we've lost all control over here.
Mr. Frank.
Mr. Frank, can we please do a show next week? Oh, let's see. Look, next week's show is apparently on cybersecurity. Well, it's a good thing I didn't have fucking Spencer Keepers or somebody coming on. By the way, I didn't, but I could have.
You could have. Yes, you could have. But no, Kent, I obviously still be like, don't think that this is an out for you. Be on the show, ask the questions, be the voice of the people to curate with Frank and myself.
Oh, I'm all about it. I'm the dumbest user of all. I literally have all the dumb user questions. I'm over here like very little of this is in my wheelhouse.
Yeah, but I mean it's important. I mean because you can't use this stuff without and not function, right? You can't. Today it's impossible.
So I'm gonna go over to AJ's computer and go to theonionrouter.com. I'm gonna make his password.
I mean, it's if you give me his email addresses, I could tell you if he's out there.
See, am I out there?
If you give me your email addresses, I'll tell you.
What are you talking about? Kent@greenmountaindefense.com.
No, you have others, I'm sure.
Oh, KentHoward@gmail.com.
Yeah, but yeah, well, I'll let you know.
There you go. Were you supposed to have done that like a year ago?
I did do it a year ago, and I could do it again. We should do periodic checkups on that.
We should, see. All right. Well, TJ's going to go check my browser history. It's basically, my browser history is no shit. Just, I think I'm dying.
Misdiagnoseyourself.com.
Yeah. There's a lot of that in my browser history. Then there's, what does this color toddler poop mean? There's a lot of that these days. Then there's reloading data. And then
and mysteriously a search for the Bears beach getaway and you planning your vacation around it.
And it's on there. No, I did search for beach bears on the fucking. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
What happened?
But we're about time, man.
All right. Well. Bye.
No, it's one of those things, folks. In all seriousness, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us here every week. Admittedly, some of the podcasts are going to be better than others, but this one, it's always good to get out and just shoot the shit with you guys, and we're happy to do it and provide you with at least 90 minutes of entertainment in the process. Frank, thank you for producing this one for us. I'll call my IT help desk guy, who coincidentally is also named Frank, to help me get my stuff unscrewed. And looking forward to doing the podcast with you next week, buddy. It's going to be a good one. With that being said, folks, once again, we are going to do the cybersecurity topic. Invite your teenagers, invite your kids. We'll keep it family friendly. I know we swear a lot. We typically have that problem, but we'll curb it for this one.
It's on me.
It's important that we all pay careful attention to this. So with that being said, of course, with the ad read, we wouldn't be able to do this without the support of our affiliations with various manufacturers and distributors. If you go to greenmountaindefense.com/affiliate-links, you will see all of those affiliates out there, as Frank has lovingly brought up on the show for us, or on the background for us. So thank you, Frank. But Primary Arms, Brownells, they're all out there. Dark Angel Medical, as always, we mentioned if you're going to carry a gun, you should carry medical. And if you don't carry a gun, you should still carry medical. DarkAngelMedical.com. Code BB15 will get you 15% off on your order. That's all I got. Kent?
GreenMountainDefense.com/training. Get on the range. Let's go. ApacheNC.com. Evolution Training Solutions. Vigor Training. Yeah. Keep that up there a minute. Vigor Training. Modern Samurai Project. Tim Heron Shooting. The list goes on and on and on. Gunset out in Ohio. Get those dudes up there. Fuck yeah. Go train with good trainers. Stop sending rounds downrange for the fuck of it. Just really, really silly. Don't do that stuff. Hit up our YouTube channel. Like, favorite, subscribe, share. He is the Lead Sling'N Ginger on all the socials. I am at Green Mountain Defense. Yes, Frank, we do have t-shirts. That might be changing soon. That might be one of those hints TJ was dropping earlier. We've been working on some t-shirts, but they're on there as well on Teespring. Go buy the stuff, support. Love you guys very much. Until we see each other again, get out and shoot.
Take it easy, folks.